What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Jeremy and welcome to the channel. And today we're going to be doing a deep dive into one of the most notorious, intriguing, and all-around badass characters in all of Fire and Blood and Song of Ice and Fire. And that is none other than the Rogue Prince himself, Daemon Targaryen. House of the Dragon is set to premiere on August 21st, which is just around the corner, and I have a feeling Daemon is going to be a heavy fan favorite. And judging from some of the early reviews that are coming in, Matt Smith's Daemon really steals the show, which isn't too surprising. I admit I was a little worried about Matt Smith being cast as Daemon Targaryen when I first heard the rumor, especially when there were other rumors going around that Travis Fimmel was being considered for the role, and anyone who saw Vikings knows how good Travis was playing Ragnar Lothbrok. But after seeing more of the behind-the-scenes footage, as well as the trailers in particular, I'm convinced Matt Smith is going to do a pretty good job. So without further ado, here is my character profile on Daemon Targaryen, aka the Rogue Prince.
History does not remember blood. It remembers names.
Daemon Targaryen, aka the Rogue Prince, aka Prince of the City, aka Lord Fleabottom, which is my personal favorite, was born in 81 AC to parents Balon and Alyssa Targaryen, and was the younger brother to King Viserys I Targaryen. Daemon was one of the most experienced warriors of his day and wielded the Valyrian steel sword Dark Sister and rode one of the most formidable dragons in Caraxes as well. Daemon and Caraxes would ride into battle many times together, including some key moments during the Dance of the Dragons. Much of Daemon's life was written about by Archmaester Gildain in The Rogue Prince, or A King's Brother. I highly recommend giving that book a read. It's hands down among my favorite Song of Ice and Fire material. Daemon was described as being dashing, daring, and dangerous, but mercurial, and often quick to take offense. Daemon was ambitious and moody, and as charming as he was hot-tempered. He was free-spirited in his youth, and at the age of 16 he was knighted by King Jaehaerys I Targaryen and gifted the Valyrian steel sword Dark Sister for his prowess in battle. Then, in 97 AC, Daemon married Rhea Royce, the heir to Runestone, but Daemon deeply disliked both her and the Vale of Arryn, and often referred to his wife as his bronze bitch. During the Council of 101 AC, Daemon supported his brother Viserys' claim, as it would have made him the heir to the throne. Daemon served briefly as Master of Coin from 103 AC to 104 AC, and then as Master of Laws 6 months after that. But governance bored Daemon, and the prince's demeanor made him a rival of Otto Hightower, who served as Hand of the King. Not long after Daemon was appointed commander of the City Watch, a position Daemon thrived at, and as commander, Daemon grew more powerful than ever. He inspired a ton of loyalty among the City Watch, improving their arms and equipment, and giving each man a gold cloak, which the City Watch would later become known as. Daemon developed a dark reputation in the streets of Fleabottom, becoming familiar to every cutthroat, whore, and gambler in the city, and became known as Lord Fleabottom among the residents of King's Landing. He served as commander of the City Watch for 2 years, up until his time of resignation after he and his brother had a falling out. Now, I don't want to go into too much details as to why they had a falling out, because it's pretty spoilery, and I imagine they're definitely going to be covering that on the show. Then, in 106 AC, Daemon allied himself with Corlys Velaryon during the War for the Stepstones, with Daemon desiring a crown for himself, and Corlys wanting to rid the Stepstones of rule of the Triarchy, a group of free cities led by the pirate king Cragnus Crabfeeder. Despite inferior numbers, Daemon and Corlys took control of all but 2 of the islands that made up the Stepstones, after Daemon killed Cragnus in single combat, and was named King of the Stepstones in 109 AC by Corlys Velaryon. Then, in 111 AC, Daemon grew bored of the Stepstones and returned to King's Landing during the tourney that gave the Blacks and the Greens their names. He reconciled with his brother Viserys by offering him his stepstone's crown. Then, 6 months later, after his return, the brothers had another falling out due to an unspecified quarrel. Now, some rumors say that Viserys' wife, Alicent Hightower, wanted Daemon gone, while other rumors claim it was a little more insidious, that Daemon apparently seduced Viserys' daughter, Rhaenyra, and was discovered by the Kingsguard. Some of Viserys' advisors suggested Daemon be executed for treason, but Septon Eustace reminded the council about the taint of kinslaying, so Daemon was exiled back to the Stepstones. Then, in 115 AC, Daemon abandoned the Stepstones once again after he heard of the death of his first wife, Rhea Royce, his bronze bitch, as he called her, and flew Caraxes back to Runestone to try and claim her seat, but was swiftly refused by House Royce. From there, Daemon flew to Driftmark, home of Corlys Velaryon, where he ended up falling in love with Corlys' daughter, Laena Velaryon, although some say he married her to check his own descent from power. Daemon and Laena would go on to travel Essos, where they would travel the Free Cities, some rumors claiming they even went to Old Valyria. Then, in 116 AC, they gave birth to twins, Baela and Rhaena. Daemon begged his brother Viserys for permission to come back and receive a royal blessing, to which Viserys agreed. Then, in 120 AC, Laena died in childbirth, unfortunately, during the year of the Red Spring. Later that year, Daemon remarried once again only 6 months later, this time to Rhaenyra Targaryen, the daughter of King Viserys I. The marriage was performed in secret and without Viserys' consent. Daemon and Rhaenyra ended up having 2 sons together, Aegon the Younger and Viserys II, in 120 AC and 122 AC. Then, a few years later, in 129 AC, King Viserys ended up passing away, which led to the civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons, where Daemon and his dragon, both Caraxes, would go on to be major players in the war. And that's something we can look forward to on the show. Daemon and Caraxes are going to have a heavy part to play in both the war and the politicking and everything else that is going to be going on from House of the Dragon, and I'm really looking forward to that. And judging from some of the earlier reviews that are coming in from people who saw an advanced screening of the first episode, Matt Smith really steals the show and has a ton of really good scenes that stand out. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. Like I said, I was a little hesitant at first when I heard Matt Smith was going to be cast as Daemon. I was really rooting for Travis Fimmel, but after this, I'm really convinced that Matt is going to do a really good job. He looks great as Daemon Targaryen, he sounds good, and the trailers look good, so I'm looking forward to seeing everything. It should be a fun show, I have a feeling. And that is going to do it for us today. I want to thank everybody out there for watching, and don't forget to hit that bell, subscribe, and be on the lookout for more House of the Dragon content in the future. Once the show airs, we plan on doing weekly live streams right after the show ends, covering all things about the show with a live panel and some guests every week. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. So come back and hang out with us, and I will see you on the next one.